Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Alright. Finna get into this quick lesson. Alright. On this documentary series. Alright. It's called Exterminate All the Brutes. Alright. And it's concerning, Esau against, basically Jake. I thought yesterday earlier, cause I heard it from the elder Mawatazak, down at LA camp. And I'm just thinking that it was just straight up on like Gad, but now it hits on, Southern Kingdom, a little bit on Southern Kingdom too. It's a really good watch. I'm on like episode 2, but I'm thinking about, restarting it. That's how good it is, But one of the first clips they show is Esau mocking Jake, They show Esau mocking Jake, and I'm just gonna play it real quick.
Entire civilizations in the Western Hemisphere were wantonly destroyed, setting the Western world on a path of greed and destruction. For history is the fruit of power, and power is crucial to the story, which then always becomes, at best, a story about those who won. And clearly, this needs to be challenged.
Some guys care a lot for me, but...
All right, and this is the mocking part right here, all right? Just listen to her. Of course, the voiceover is gonna take over for a little bit, but you're gonna get the point when he lets her sing and shit.
My excitement they can't ban, because I still await my primitive mate. We've had a date since the world began, my prehistoric man.
And just doing that, him doing that right there, that was him mocking, the Northern Kingdom. But just keep on watching.
For it is about who we are today, about what we have become as a people, and on what side of history we are, what side of the truth.
Simple and free in the long ago.
A certain view of history contends that the historical narrative is just one fiction among others. It is not. There is no such thing as alternative facts.
They didn't have bebop, tom-toms, tom-toms. They sat all day just beating on tom-toms. I really love tom-toms.
Hey, hum-diddy, hum-diddy, bee-diddy, hum-diddy, 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 bee-diddy, ooga-labba-dee-ba-dabba, ooga-labba-dee-ba-dabba, ooga-mada, ooga-mada.
See how they just mocking us? They mocked us. I try to find, that song, if that was a real song, or was that just part of the series? But, and another thought that popped up in my head yesterday while I was watching, I was like, oh shit, so Esau, well, of course, we already know Esau's the, because how Jake, they do diss songs on their, ops. Make a diss song about dead ops and things of that nature. Well, shit, Esau, that's what Esau was doing right here. So they're the start of that, It's every problem that we have on this earth right now is because of Esau. All right? The so-called white man being in rulership. This man is not fit to be in rulership. But guess what? Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to take you down. The Lord didn't forget about none of this shit. You seen how he was just that they was just mocking, the tribal dances, that Jake was doing, they were just mocking it, While at the same time, they came over here, and basically massacred Jake, massacred, you know, the Northern Kingdom, you know? You know, the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Seminole Indians, so-called Mexicans, you know? Just massacred them over here, you know? And they have and then they're gonna, you know, just mock us, you know, doing dances and shit, you know? But guess what? Here, let's start off in Psalms 50 and verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. All right, and yeah, because, hey, Esau, Edom, so if you watch more into the documentary, you know, there's books on how basically, what was the one book? I should have went into it before this video, but it's this book basically talking about they're going to make, basically they was calling us animals and they're going to make us functional animals, you know, to basically, you know, build up their society, you know. So we're animals, but they're going to train us basically to be functional animals to help out their society, you know. So yeah, hey, they call us animals, brute beasts, you know. Hey, that series is a real good series. It goes into the word, you know, the Negro, you know, black, the origins of it, why it was made, or not why it was made, but why they put it upon, you know, the so-called Negroes, you know. See, and they, you know, and now look, it's to the point where we're here in 2025, and look, the so-called Native Americans or Mexicans, hey, we fucked up as a people now, you know. Now they can look upon us and be like, hey, look at them, they're all they do is drink all day. They you know, they kill each other all day, you know. Verse 21, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. So yeah. And, you know, with all the massacre that Yahweh Shem Yahushua allowed them to do, you know, the Lord allowed you niggas to do it, you know. Yahweh Shem Yahushua allowed you to do it, you know. Without Yahweh Shem Yahushua having, you know, you come down, or without the Lord, you know, putting punishment upon you. You know, the Lord allowed you to do this, all right? Though thoughtest that I was altogether such in one as thyself. So yeah, you was thinking that, hey, shit, the Lord is with us, you know? You know, the God of the heaven is with us. So how we taking these people down and how we're just building up our kingdom, you know? It said, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. So see, and we're in that reproving state, or we're reproving them right now, you know. This is the start of it, you know. Ever since we came out there in the highways and byways, you know, starting off with Elder Abba Bivens, you know, on down, you know. We're reproving them, telling them, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to come back and destroy you, you know? And then, ultimately, you know, that reproving is going to turn physical. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to give you into our hands. And we're going to be able to, and we're going to have the Lord's anger on us, you know? To fuck you up. So now, here, Isaiah 47 in verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and give them into thy hand. So yeah, man, because they ultimately, you know, we ended up in, you know, this situation because Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he was angry with us, you know. So he allowed Esau, Edom, so-called white man, to do all these things to us, you know massacre us, make mockery of us, all right? It says, thou didst show them no mercy, all right? Yeah, Esau went overboard. Hey, if you go into the depths of Esau, you know, how they tortured us, you know, what they would do, you know, to humiliate the men, you know. Hey, you obviously there was no mercy within it, you know. You know, they'll allow, they'll allow the dogs to tear up, you know, our people, you know. And they'll be in, you know, very, 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 how can I say, bad conditions, basically, you know, of where they live, all right, or where they work, you know. They'll work them 24/7, you know. It says, upon the ancient has thou verily, very heavily laid thy yoke. And shit, it's still to this day. And you know, an old man, I believe it's 71, the age of retirement, you know. So that's no mercy right there. You know, when a man is around fucking 60, you know, he's feeling that age, you know. He's feeling that shit, you know, especially from all the toxic food that we eat here. You know, it's all built up, you know. It's all built up on that man, you know. And especially when he's 60, it definitely is hitting him, you know. So, you know, their walk is bad, you know, their eyes may be bad, you know, whatever. You know, but guess what? They don't care. Hey, nigga, you got work. You got to build up my kingdom still, you know. And when you're around your 70s, then you could, you know, retire. Basically, that's when the man is really about to die. He don't have more life ahead of him, you know. It says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Yeah, a lady, you know, an untouched lady, you know. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. So yeah, because they didn't consider Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to require all of this from them, you know. Require all the, you know, massacre that they did upon us. They didn't consider that, hey, we're going to have to repay all of this soon to come, you know? And we're in that time now. Obviously, the kingdom is shifting over. All right, this kingdom, Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, is falling, you know? Oh, what the scripture say? Numbers 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by blood of him that shed it. All right, and shit, we got the 12 tribes of Israel, blood all throughout this country, you know, millions, you know. So this place is defiled. America is defiled. And guess what? The only way this place can be cleansed is by the blood of him that shed it. So you so-called white man, you know, the so-called white man, your blood is going to have to be shed. All right? And how is that going to be done? Through the nuclear missiles. All right? The nuclear missiles, because Yahweh Shem Yahushua say he has let me get that real quick. Let's get it real quick. Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword, what is this sword talking about? The nuclear missiles shall be bathed in heaven. All right, because this is heaven right here. America is the so-called white man heaven. All right, it's a state or condition. All right, while this is their heaven, this is our hell. You know, because this is our captivity, you know. It says, behold, it shall come it shall come down upon Idumea. That's the Greek word of saying Edom, all right? And upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right, so see? That sword, the nuclear missiles that's finna hit here, is for Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you know? That's who it's for. And of course, Jake is gonna be caught up in the midst of it, you know, but when the missiles say it's gonna be a show, it's gonna show that, hey, our kingdom is up, you know? Your kingdom is down, you know? You know? Verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness and with blood of lambs and of goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So see? So the Lord is about to require all the shit that you've done, you know, the way that you got America, you know, how you built up this place. The Lord is about to require all of that from you, all right? And it's going to be by nuclear missiles, you know? Here in America, Babylon the Great, all right? So back in Isaiah 47 and verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So yeah, that's their mindset, you know. That basically, hey, we're going to be good. You know, America, hey, we're going to be good. Nobody's going to take us down. You know, I'm not going to know the loss of our military, you know, of our, you know. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in the perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. And yeah, because hey, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, that's how they built up this place too, through scientific racism. You know, basically justifying that how, you know, because of our skin, you know, because our skin color, you know, dark, you know, that justified them that, hey, basically we're not human, you know, and they have the right to treat us how they want to, you know. So, and it's been building up ever since, you know, back then, you know. So guess what? All the shit that you've done, you know, from the massacre, you know, the scientific racism, you know, nuclear missiles about to hit upon this place, you know. All right. And it's gonna come in its perfection, you know, as it says. It's, you know, because, hey, 200 million missiles, you know, is gonna hit this place, you know, and it's gonna be nothing of America, you know. It's gonna be a prime example on why you shouldn't fuck with the apple of Yahweh Shem Yahushua's eye, you know. So this is what's coming, you know. Dang, where's that one scripture? Revelation 13. Revelations 13 and verse, because, hey, just because, hey, America's destroyed and niggas just die over here, you know, you so-called white men just die over here, guess what? It ain't the end. You know, it ain't the end. You gotta suffer. You about to suffer some more. Revelations 13 and 10 or 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. So yeah, man. They forcefully led us into captivity. They killed us. All right. They humiliated us. All right. They humiliated the men in front of their families. You know. Did all types of weirdo shit. But guess what? It's all about to turn back around, you know. You're about to go into captivity. We're about to kill you with the sword, all right? And guess what? We're going to have spiritual powers. Who knows? Hey, it's going to be the Lord's anger. Fuck that. It's going to be the Lord's anger that's going to be upon us too. So, hey, and we know when the Lord angry, he get down. When Yahweh Bashim Yahushua get angry, he get down. You know, he don't play. You know? So this is what's coming. This is what, you know, you so-called white man should be expecting, you know. Because look at this shit that you've done to our people. You made mockery of us. All right, you made mockery of us at our lowest, you know. And then you turned our people into degenerates. You know, so you just all bad, you know. You got a tab, you know, you got a long tab, you know, to pay. You know, and guess what? The Lord's gonna, let's get that real quick. I believe it's right here. Lamentations 4 and verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. All right, so yeah, hey, rejoice and be glad right now. All right, you know, live it up, because hey, soon, guess what? The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. So yeah, the cup. All right, the cup that we had to drink. All right, the cup of slavery. All right, the cup of just being basically just fucked up. You know, the Lord allowing these heathens to fuck us up. You know. But guess what? It's going to be passed on to you now. All right? Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. You know, a shameful state. You know? Shameful state is coming upon you. All right? And hey, the shameful state, you know, because the prophets say we're exposing, you know, the white man for everything that he's been doing. And it's now being made known, like, oh shit, this man did this to get this kingdom. He was doing this, you know. Verse 22, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So see, so everything, what is iniquity? That's sin upon sin. So he's about to, hey, everything that you've done, you're about to get repaid for it. And that's what we're waiting for. That's what the servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua was waiting for. Because Esau, living down here in this damn kingdom, it's you know, we're tired of it, you know. Tired of Esau. You know, Esau just attacks us on every level. You know, we're tired of it. You know, we want Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to take this man down, you know. So yeah, after this man is taken down, guess what? The Israelites, we're gonna be up forever. You know, we're not gonna have to go into captivity again. Why? We're gonna have the new bodies that's gonna have the laws, statutes, and commandments downloaded in us. You know, to where hey, we can't go off no more. If we can't go off no more, the Lord don't have no more reason to punish us. You know. So this is what we're waiting for. You know. Hey, so that was pretty much it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this video again, and I'm gonna end it.
In the Western Hemisphere were wantonly destroyed, setting the Western world on a path of greed and destruction. For history is the fruit of power, and power is crucial to the story, which then always becomes, at best, a story about those who won. And clearly, this needs to be challenged.
Some guys care a lot for me, but my excitement they can't ban. Because I still await my primitive mate. We've had a date since the world began. My prehistoric man.
For it is about who we are today, about what we have become as a people, and on what side of history we are, what side of the truth.
Simple and free in the long ago.
A certain view of history contends that the historical narrative is just one fiction among others. It is not. There is no such thing as alternative facts.
They didn't have bebop.
mada, ooh, mada.